They make really good quality headsets, of course. It's a company that is very long already, alongside with their smartphones. We see Emerok and D battling first as well. Wonder what champion they are going to be picking up. There has been a hover on the Lucian. So, is this an indication that they will start with a Lucian matchup? No! Please tell me it's not.
Actually, if they go through all of those 3 champions, that's gonna be interesting. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this is going to go. And I think it's gonna be just 1v1, and then they just select through the 3 champion pools that they selected. Is my guess. That's my guess.
I hope it's not like the only champions that they can use, because I would love to see more different champions being picked up here in the 1v1. I believe there are other champions that you can actually fully utilize. That's quite fascinating to see as well. There are players that are... Oh, no.
Oh!
After seeing like a Lucian icon, I was like, oh man. Okay. They're gonna try hard in this game 1. Makes sense. You get to win your team the first point. And actually my thoughts are Ruby Crystal actually works a little bit better than picking up an AD item. You get yourself additional 150 HP compared to the 10 AD that the longsword provides, and that actually helps out in the initial exchanges. Fancy that we do see the stats as well. There's an additional hood that we see. Emerok takes a little bit more damage though as the ignite gets used. The exhaust does mitigate some of the damage that D has been trying to make, and through the piercing light, that's how they usually poke out each other. Emerok has to be extra careful though. Doesn't have the exhaust anymore. But what's fascinating for me is that he picks up the barrier instead of flash. That will give him a little bit more survivability, I would say, against D, unless the initiates perfectly. Oh! Piercing light misses though. He might actually be in trouble. Fortunately, Emerok doesn't have a flash, so D will survive for the meantime. We'll be able to go back to base. Just reset, gets his HP back to full health, and go back into the lane. Emerok will also go back, pick up possibly the build path or the Black Lever. That has been the pattern that we do see in the 1v1. Actually picks up the Steel Cap. That's much better. Negate 15% of the additional basic attack damage of your enemy. Have yourself now the longsword as well, compared to lifesteal boost.
Oh my gosh, they're rolling.
But looks like it's Dito that's the one actually winning here.
Yeah, I like the difference in summoner spells, which I'm sure you talked about already. It is the ignite versus the exhaust, which is actually very low key effective against burst damage in general. So I think I'm on Emerok on this one, but the more aggressive stance is towards D. Obviously, D is winning the trades right now, the pokes right now. So I'm a bit worried for Emerok here.
Yeah, I'm with you on this, especially with the item, the steel caps working better than this berserker boots. But so far it's not actually helping that much. It seems he has been more efficient, I would say, with the movements that he is making. He almost got first blood actually a while ago. The only problem was he missed his piercing light, and it hit the minion instead of Emerald.
That's unfortunate. I think that's the very good, the very bad and good thing about Lucian, right? It's that you get spells. Oh, exhaust.
Ignite the spell has been used here onto Emerald. There's exactly the same HP, so they should be fine.
They're Daijobu here. And the thing is, Emerald's so aggressive. Oh, the culling. I realize the culling is super good, is super bad if there is a big minion wave. So either you can use this to get tower plates at least to get more gold to go back. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, barrier is gonna be used. Flash is
Whoa!
available and it has been used
What about
perfectly by D, but no!
Whoa!
1 HP! Oh, the minion! Oh. So, it's a 1 for 1. And all they need to do is get one more kill.
I really love the way that they fought that because they both hid on the brush to make sure that they can't be auto attacked and have the portrait of the champion to be able to get clicked or not tapped rather. I really like this. I really like this approach from both players.
It's quite technical, right? And that just shows the amount of discipline that they have already in this game. They make it's the slightest details, the slightest movements actually makes the biggest difference. Most of the time, we see it a lot on pros. Now it's demonstrated as well by Emerok and D. Oh, piercing light. Not connecting calling gonna be used here by D to try and shove him away. Emerok has his own ult available.
I really like how Emerok has been playing this 1v1. He's always going to initiate and dash aggressively when he knows that the life pack is about to spawn. This gives you control of the life pack, and this gives you the initial trade damage, if you will, because this is a mirror matchup. We all know what the skills look like. The only time that it gets more it diversifies is the itemization. Black Cleaver the same. The boots are different. We all know armor boots versus lifesteal boots. So I love this. I love the healing mitigation coming from Emerok pickup, which means he's really itemizing against this build that D wants when it comes to sustain in the lane.
Yeah, D has a more one-dimensional build here on his side. Focusing on damage, has to sustain, but it's slowly being mitigated here by Emerok. So that the execution is calling. So he needs to be extra careful this time. Maybe a bit of armor would suffice to try and reduce the damage that Emerok is dealing onto him. Because right now, we see one thing consistent. And that is Emerok shoving the wave against D's tower. And right now, he might actually secure a kill, and that's the win!
Well done by Emerok here! It all started with the divergence in itemization, lifesteal boots versus armor, and he really built against that. Really well done. Gets the first 2 kills. Obviously, he knows what's up. He knows how to play this champion. Against, was very aggressive, was more sustained in the lane. Trades here and there. Have the better HP and fight again. But it's so good that Emerok acknowledges the fact that I can itemize against this. And I can win the 1v1 straight up with this burst. Lucian already used, actually. So possibly we might see a Lucian versus Renekton, Akali versus Renekton. Akali versus Renekton should be interesting.
Okay. Interesting. So once you use a champion, you can no longer use it again. Possibly. I mean, I'm just having that thought. Oh, it's the Renekton next. BK7 will be the one playing this time around instead of D. Interesting matchup as well. It might be a Renekton versus Renekton. A matchup that we... actually. We don't see that... I don't think I have seen this matchup yet.
The Akali versus Renekton?
Yeah.
I think we can hypothesize, honestly. I think for the Akali and Renekton, it's going to be difficult for the Akali if level 5 comes around, because Renekton can be really tanky. The thing about the Akali is if you cycle through all your skills, usually if you don't have a lot of items, it's what's the word? It's lacking in damage if one cycle of skills, because you have the stun from Renekton, so you basically already lose the trade because you're stunned. You can't auto attack or do any skills if you're stunned. So I do feel like the play for the Akali to win is to poke, make yourself untradeable, make sure you don't go all in right away, and then once you see that the HP is lethal, that's the time you can comfortably go in. I don't think you can fight the Renekton head on. The tankiness, the stun, the sustain is just too much, especially early game. Renekton was the early game king way back. So it's very, very difficult in this sort of scenario. So I wanna see how Emerok plays this one out.
And one of the things that made Renekton stronger as well is the buff that he received a little earlier, the removal of the shield, so you cannot even pick up something like a barrier here for BK7. And once Emerok gets to hit that Ruthless Predator, it's basically done. Even if BK7 hides under the shroud, AoE damage is still there from Emerok, especially with the Dominus.
That Dominus level 5 is the key to everything here. Emerok is going to be strong. The strongest spikes of level for Emerok is level 3, level 5. BK7, I can say that level 1 is actually decent because you can keep poking Emerok here with your first skill. The problem is sustain because remember, Emerok has Conqueror.
Yeah, Conqueror and level 2, he does have some sort of kill pressure already. Once he picks up Slice and Dice, and he does, you have to hide under your shroud. Emerald actually takes too much damage though. Needs to be extra careful too.
He really has to be. I mean, imagine level 1, BK7, really strong. Level 3 is where it's at though for Emerok here. So BK7 has to be careful. BK7 doesn't have priority in lane here. Really good job from Emerok to deal damage and as well be able to get minions, therefore have the experience advantage. So as you can see, he's level 3 versus the level 2, but no stun will happen there because of the Shroud.
At level 3, we talked about this earlier, and this is where BK7 needs to be most careful. Especially looking at the rage stacks here of Emerald all the time. And if he sees the rage stacks getting close to half, you need to keep your distance because that's when Emerald will strike. Absolutely. Every single time it's up, he will strike.
He will try to immediately trade you. Not even trade, like just deal a lot of damage. I love this pickup from Emerok, by the way. It is going to be the magic resist boots. Not and I really like this because again, we all know that actually looking at the items, it's the armor boots now this time around. I like how they're both itemizing against each other. I think this was a mirror approach now compared to earlier where it's more of a what you call this direct approach for things. Is more of sustain versus defense, hard stats of a defense. So I like that from Emerok and as well as BK7.
I actually think that Emerald will be building anti-heal as well against BK7, especially as there's a footwork, possibly a Rift Maker will be picked up here by BK7 as well to increase the survivability. He has been playing this really effectively as well, winning the trades, and Emerald jumped down to 40%.
Oh, is it me or didn't get the heal? Did he or did he not?
I think he got it.
Okay.
It was
so little that I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I thought he went out of the circle and didn't get the heal.
Happens to me sometimes as well.
Yeah, it happens to me too.
Did I actually get healed or did I not?
It's so negligible to the point sometimes. I mean, you don't even notice.
So it's going to be Blade of the Ruin King by Emerald.
It's good.
Maximizing the DPS, having the proc as well of the BRK. BK7 keeping his distance every single time, just chunking his HP down.
Exactly. This is how BK7 is supposed to win. By keep poking and poking and poking. Emerok, he has to go ham. The thing is, BK7 knows that if the slice and dice stun is there, you just dash away. Oh, the trade.
That's the thing that he has been doing. Just shuriken out and just keep on poking him when that slice and dice is not available, when the rage stacks are down as well. And Emerok is kind of feeling the pressure right now. That's a Dominus being used. Ooh, Dash is available though.
So he has to slice and dice soon, I feel. He doesn't have flash anymore, however, but BK7 has flash, so this is critical.
I don't think Emerok can actually get a kill here. He is in tower's range. Took the tower damage as well. Not really the best condition for Emerald to secure first blood. BK7 again just maintaining his ground, focusing on the scaling, because later on there's gonna be a point in time where Emerald is gonna fall off, and that's where BK7 will strive.
It's good too that We have the mask being acquired as well. That means it's good health damage, considering that Emerok, once he has the Dominus on board, that's when he is more tanky, and therefore that's why BK7 is itemizing around that. So Emerok as well, wanting sustain on these fights with the Blade of the Ruin King, especially that it's so difficult when BK7 keeps poking you out and keeps maneuvering through all of these fights and microing you out. Oh, that's good. That's good
Actually
sustain.
goes in. Perfect execution is no longer available. Emerok is so low. If BK7 had ult, that might have been it.
I think so too. Especially that he's trying to hold on to the Dominus as well. But BK7 is so extended. He has Dominus on. He has Flash.
This might be bad for BK7. Fortunately, still has a perfect execution. I don't think this is the best angle to go in. Backs out instead, clears up the wave. We'll go back to base.
This is so close, Kiyang. I don't even know who's gonna win anymore. I think Emerok should go back. Yeah. Should match the items of BK7 because Leandri's already completed. Going to be scary with an armor cloth as well. Ooh, I like this pickup. An additional shield against the magic damage that's about to go down from BK7. So this is good. Even the mantle picked up as well. This is Emerok doing the same thing that he did earlier against D. I think this is effective.
Yeah, he can build possibly the Malmortius, maybe Visage as well. Just build those MRs to negate the damage of BK7 because eventually he will lose energy, and that's when the Akali is at its weakest. Right now, there's no Shroud. Goes in, but it's taking too much damage as well. Needs to respect him. And since it doesn't have Dominus as well, that's not really the best time to go in just yet.
Yeah, it's too difficult. There is exhaust, however, onto Emerok. So if BK7 goes all in, then that's the time you can deny burst damage. Oh, exhaust!
Oh,
Exhaust!
perfect timing. Has
Oh, no.
on.
It's
That's
so
scary
hard
moment.
with the Shroud. You just buy so much time. Oh, dear. How many minutes are we in? Oh, nice stun.
Oh.
Oh,
Emerok,
Oh!
1-for-1. Slowly but surely, the tides are turning. It's now leaning towards BK7.
This is all so close. I cannot even imagine. Again, I thought the matchup, I thought it was going to be Renekton favored on level 5. I mean, it was for a moment, but for BK7, there's just so many outs for BK7 to play around, especially the Shroud, and it just ruins the combo of a Renekton. I do think BK7 is doing this matchup really well, just making sure that the, the Shroud is always ready when Emerok dives in.
Doesn't have that much resistance anymore. It's the damage of BK7 that we see slowly growing as the game goes by. Not really the perfect sign here for Emerok. We have the sudden death as well. Starting right now. This is the decider. Who will win? Void Staff, we have Leandris, we have the shield as well from BK7. Perfect way to sustain himself, but the area is going to be reduced. They'll be forced to come across as just attacking each other.
I'm trying to look at the Void Staff now acquired, or that has been acquired for a while now, and this is a lot of burst damage on the side of BK7 already. I do think this is going to be a BK7 win because you just keep poking and poking and poking. Again, aside from kills, one tower down is also an access to victory. So BK7 is being very patient. Oh no, here it goes. The circle of death. You're gonna be forced to fight.
The circle of death. It's closing in. They see it. They feel the heat already. BK7 looking to be more confident in this scenario right now. Takes a bit of a third damage though. Not really the best way.
That's gonna be interesting
You
because
cannot
Emerald can
recall
use.
anymore. Is it gonna? What?
Oh my gosh!
What? What just happened? No way!
No way!
No way!
Wait.
No way!
Wait!
Did he forget
No, wait.
it? No! No! What just happened? No way!
I'm
That
shocked
happened!
as well.
Riku! No!
One more.
What just happened?
I want to know
Didn't
too.
just happen.
What? I don't think I think it was it's a like a spur of the moment kind of thing where I want to go back for the items and do. Me too. I bet. I super bet. Like you kind of jolt yourself on your chair. I think I see audiences playing Wild Rift as well. Or am I wrong? They have like their heads down on like looking at their phones? Question mark?
That's a cute raincoat as well. We have
Oh yeah, that's true.
pink, yellow.
Zaopi just vibing, and Emerok is just like cracking his neck, like, oh, time to get a 3-0.
Oh, that makes me want to crack my neck as well.
Oh,
it's relaxing.
It is relaxing.
What will? Okay, it's a Nasus.
It's a Nasus.
Huh.
Oh. Okay, I get
we have
it.
tank in it, or that death mark. And, well, maybe we have a premonition on his movements later. He was dodging earlier. Maybe that shows confidence.
Maybe yeah. Maybe that's it. You know, like
that's it.
I have an inkling of what he plans to do, honestly. So what he's gonna do is, you know, that thing on the ground, what's it called? Not the siphoning strike. Is it the spirit fire?
The spirit fire, yes.
Yeah, the spirit fire. You keep using that spirit fire to keep poking. At least that's the laning phase. Well, of course, it's the laning phase all the time as a Howling Abyss, right? So that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna keep poking, and if the Zed goes near using the death mark, he is going to wither, and that is your gap close basically, because it doesn't make you dash, but it makes you really much faster because the other one's slower, and you do have that big sustain, right? From the from what's it called? Is it Fury of the Sands? What's it called?
Yes.
Yeah, Fury of the Sands. Yes, the Fury of the Sands for, of course, sustain. You have a lot of resistances. You have better attack range as well. So, let's see.
Wow, that skin is just absolutely insane. That's Supreme Cells Zed skin.
It looks so good.
I'm not so sure because I don't have that.
Me too. I mean, I'm seeing it right now. It looks really good. Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Oh,
actually, are going ham at level 1.
Well, level
Zaopi
1?
being extremely confident, but that might be
way!
overconfidence. Oh no! First blood already. Emerok is on fire.
Emerok, wow, really nice plays. He really took him on. I just want to give props to Emerok for continuing to bring Exhaust. Exhaust is so good in 1v1s. In a 5v5 standpoint, it gets really chaotic because there's so many factors that affects, you know, the safety of the enemy team. But if it's a 1v1, Exhaust not only denies burst, it also provides slow. So it's kind of like, yo, you're not gonna escape from me. Even if Zed doesn't have that big crowd control, that Exhaust is an additional skill to help with that.
And Zaopi, since he didn't have exhaust, right? That could have been the decider of that outfit. And it gave Emerok a better advantage in that initial fight. Now Zaopi is in trouble. Emerok did have more of a gold in that first blood.
He activated Ghost.
XP, level 3 versus level 2. And Zaopi already low. Not really the best of sign that we do see. No man as well. He has to go back to base.
It's gonna be insane if this ends up in a 3-0 by Emerok here. He could be the king of the 1v1s in the Ionia Cup Invitationals if this works out, because he used all of his 3 picks without knowing what the matchup is gonna look like. That's gonna be really cool.
And a while ago, he was interviewed and asked the most interesting question: if he wants to be the one continue playing, or would he want to rely on his teammates? And like, he is confident, fully confident with his abilities to contest the other players.
Yeah, I mean, this is good because he won 2 straight, right? So even if he loses, there is still the rest of his team to follow through. This is what I was looking for, right? The Spirit Fire poke. You keep poking, you deny any sort of deathmark threat, because if you're low, you're just gonna get withered, and you go near. You don't have any hard CCs as a Nasus, but you have a lot of damage to deal and a lot of poke to deal. This is something that I really enjoy for Nasus at the solo lane, is because he may be a melee champion, he may operate as one, but he has a wide AoE as poke. And it's painful. It's painful,
It's
actually.
painful. You also have almost unlimited scaling.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're gonna be having so much access on these minions for your Typhon Strike. And you can just continue to increase your damage, maybe build some armor as well to negate some of the damage here of Emerok. That's gonna help him with the matchup, but the Black Shield is gonna reduce that.
Yeah, that is gonna be helpful in the 1v1s for sure. For Zaopi, all he has to do is poke with this. Oh, he has a sheen. Makes the Q auto really painful. Oh,
Very painful. Night is still ticking. Zaopi has to be patient before he gets
he won that
healing
trade.
font.
Zaopi won that. Yeah.
Actually.
Just gotta poke some
And
more
he
with the
can
Spirit Fire.
And just be patient here. And just he actually still secured the. Oh no!
Still
doesn't
won
have
the
the
trade.
additional
He's
stacks
still
on the
pretty
cannon.
healthy. Look.
Very healthy.
How?
That's the benefit that you have with the passive of the Nasus, the additional lifesteal. And as long as you have mana, Zaopi should be fine.
Oh yeah, for sure. As long as you have mana, which wow, Zonius. So that's his answer to the death mark. We're at level 5. I think that's clever. I think that's very clever.
That's clever.
My only issue is that you will not die, but you will not kill. So I think this is waiting for the 8-minute mark with the death circle spawning. So if you have Zonius and then Emerok has nowhere to run, of course he's not gonna build Zonius Hourglass for this fight. He's gonna be in trouble here. So I like this approach from Zaopi is to not die. I don't have to kill, but I don't have to die either.
This has to sustain himself. And maybe rely on that final moment later on. When the
We're gonna
circle
be here for a
comes.
while. 8
It's a while.
minutes.
It's a while. 8 minutes.
For sure. Because both
2-3
players are
items.
playing very reserved right now. Because Zaopi acknowledges he doesn't have to be aggressive. And if he becomes aggressive, he might lose because he doesn't have any chase and mobility at all. Well, aside from the Wither. But all he has to do is just try to scale as much as he can. 8 minutes scale.
8 minute scale.
8 minutes scale. And see where that goes. And just live, honestly.
That's a good thing about picking the Nasus, right? You have a lot of sustain. The only problem is the mana. You do see a lot being of a concern here for Zaopi. As long as he can stand his ground, defend his tower, because again, that's also a win condition. And Emerok
That is a win condition. Emerok
recognizes
acknowledges
that.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
okay,
wait!
you're just gonna.
Zaopi!
Oh, no mana though. No mana for Zaopi. One more.
One more!
One last
Oh, wait,
strike.
goes back!
Oh!
Oh, he's
Hiding
like, go
under
to
the
the shadow. Oh no!
It's waiting.
He's waiting for the shadow to expire.
patiently. He can still
Okay,
go.
okay. Wither, 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 wither. Go wither.
Oh, he survives.
No. He doesn't have mana.
Absolutely nice outplay by Emerald.
Wow. But this gives a preview. Zaopi looked at Emerok across the stage. You see that camera is pretty funny.
It was like, you cheeky little man.
You are.
You are.
And so Emerok is really doing this 1v1 really well. I'm just worried on the 8-minute mark. Like, how do you even survive? Because we saw how big of an HP Zaopi had despite all of this.
All he has to do is wait for the last stand later on. Wait for the circle. It's like Emerok is starting to feel the sustain of Zaopi.
Oh my gosh.
Ignite has been used. He needs to be extra careful as well.
Oh!
Pops in the ult, gets killed.
That's the one. We need one more. That's really good for coming from Zaopi. And it's so awkward too. You can't really use the death mark because you know that the hourglass is there, so you have to bait it out first before you death mark, but then you'll be really low. And I like this from Zaopi too. He's like, okay, if killing you twice might be impossible because you're gonna be playing safer, I'll just hit your tower and see if that can be a win condition too.
Picks up 600 gold. 30 seconds before the moment. Before we see either
The
two
circle
things
of
happening.
death. Yeah.
Either Zaopi extends the series or Emerok defeats all three of
Wait.
PB.
Ooh, the tower. I'm a bit afraid of the tower here. It's so close to dying.
Oh, he is slowed though. He might have overstayed under the tower. Zaopi knows that he can just win this. The tower helps him as well. Oh no, the ignite. And that's gonna be it. Zaopi found the opportunity. He was very chill all throughout the game as well. And
I
a little
sleep.
bit of a banter.
Zaopi says,
to
I
Emerok.
sleep. He says, I can take them all.
I
Yeah.
can take them all. Plus the gesture, right?
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Even looking at the opposite side of the stage, he was like, I can take them all.
And he keeps looking at the other side of the stage.
Yeah,
right? Even
yeah.
throughout the match earlier. Oh man.
You got
The
a lot of
level of
confidence of Zaopi.
competitiveness of
Yes,
Zaopi.
absolutely.
We just can't help but love the guy.
Oh, for sure. Gotta love Zaopi here. And this is the time for Yanwei to just win one. Whoa! Wait, Vayne and Raven matchup.
Vayne. Oh, this is a right from the bat.
Oh.
I'm gonna say this is a losing matchup for Zaopi. I
Yeah.
have seen this matchup already in the professional stage in the WRLA season 1, and 100% of the time the Draven wins in the first few minutes of the game.
Exactly. You're just gonna lose the trades. The only time that you can actually win against a Draven if you're able to land a condemn and then not allow any trade whatsoever. Because the Draven's just gonna move forward, catch the axes, and just deal humongous tons of damage. The Vayne needs more items, more scaling, and I'm a bit worried. Okay, maybe level 5 there is a chance because the whirling axe of a Draven can be dodged by just a tumble. You know, like depending on the angle, it's so easy to dodge. I do feel like the final hour has more 1v1 potential than the whirling axe of a Draven. So that's when I feel like Zaopi has a chance. As long as the condemn hits, he's okay. But if it doesn't hit, then he's in trouble.
Okay, I love your analogy, and I'm gonna nerd out on this as well.
Go.
Because Draven potentially can go into unlimited whirling axes, right? But if Zaopi can interrupt using the condemn and prevent Yanwei from getting at least one of the axes, then he can put him in a deficit and dodge at least one of the whirling axes when Yanwei won't be able to pick at least one of the whirling axes. That way he can minimize the damage output of Yanwei. But even so, that's still at least 3 auto attacks that will be increased so much by the Draven. That's still a losing matchup here, a losing situation for Zaopi. It has to be a condemn to the wall, and also dodge the ult of Yanwei. It's so complicated. There's lethal tempo being picked up compared to the
Conqueror. And I like the approach coming from Zaopi also, which is to deny any sort of burst, which is the exhaust. This is I like this because you don't really need flash with the tumble in play. You're not gonna get locked in anyways by any sort of CC. So this is, oh my gosh, wait, wow.
Right from the bat, going in. Zaopi took more than Yanwei though, and he used both of his summoner spells. Not really the best
that's
sign.
the tough. That's we expected this, right? The only time that you can actually feel like you can win is if you have your condemn, and don't condemn on the brush because you're forced to just go tumble forward or walk casually, and that's just, oh my gosh,
Oh
pain,
man,
pain.
it's a nightmare.
It is.
It's a nightmare.
It really is. Oof.
I'm gonna be a pessimist saying this, but I've said it a while ago already. It's basically the game already. with
Yeah,
this
yeah.
matchup alone.
It's okay to call it this soon because
Spade is spade.
look, there's no wave clear here. Yanwei can just keep knocking on the tower. At this point, he doesn't even have to kill Zaopi. He can just keep hitting the tower and win the game because Zaopi is just too low of an HP. Oh, there
and
it
that's
is.
first blood.
Yep. Yeah, because it does feel like Zaopi had to do that because the tower's gonna go down anyways, so might as well be aggressive. But right now, that means Yanwei, if he wins, if he gets that first kill on the second kill to Zaopi, that means their team wins. Emerok's team will win this best of 5 1v1s, and we'll see.
I was actually looking forward for a game 5.
Oh yeah,
Game 5 in this.
the echo would have been great, honestly, on this matchup.
Maybe he was thinking that the next matchup would be so difficult because Remake
true.
has Lucian, Jax, and Akali. Everything counters to win this one.
Oh
sad.
dear. How does he survive this?
Tries to go with the condemn.
So difficult when all Yanwei has to do is land one shot, and then it's so painful. Meanwhile, Zaopi still has to do the 3 stacks of silver bolts to actually proc that damage, and it's already painful. Yeah, Bloodthirster. Oh my gosh.
Just Draven things.
Ouch.
I'm not even gonna be surprised if we see an IE next.
Yeah.
Or Storm Razor. Typical items for the Draven. The healing is insane. Every single auto attack, we see his HP going back up.
Whoa. Whoa. The whirling death.
Ooh.
Okay, Yanwei doesn't even need mana at this point. Like, he can just keep knocking on the tower. One of the win conditions. Oh, final hour.
Zaopi is trying his very best. Sometimes, best is not enough. Team A, through Yanwei's win, alongside with Emerok's 2 wins a while ago, will be the one to be crowned the winner.
Hey,
Please, he managed to win the previous matchup, took down and shut
恭喜
down
三位
Emerok
获得
a
了
while
我
ago.
们 solo 擂台赛的最终胜利。接下来也是有请三位来到我们的舞台正中间。
Okay, congratulations on your victory and please come to the stage, guys. 非常非常不容易的非常精彩的一局 solo 赛啊。
倒也没有很不容易，
是还行吧，就是差一点点1传3了。
过程还是非常跌宕起伏，非常的有意思的。好的，那也是再一次恭喜三位。接下来的话呢，首先还是要送出由 OPPO 提供的 OPPO Enco Free 3真无线降噪耳机，就是我手上的这个。
On your victory, and here is the winner's prize.
再次恭喜三位，可以给我们的镜头稍微展示一下我们来之不易的礼品。好的，那其实，在结束了我们的 solo 比赛之后的话呢，其实还是有一些问题想要问到我们的3位选手。首先先来问一下Remake 吧。其实我们 solo 赛之前也是打了这么久嘛，在比赛进行的过程当中，其实我刚刚偷偷摸了一下我们用的那个手机，感觉一点也不烫哎，就不愧是配备了 Reno 史上最强的散热系统，能够有效降低手机的温度，稳稳凉住强悍心。其实想问一下，平时你们在打比赛和训练的时候，你觉得Reno 的手机给你带来多大的帮助呢？
我觉得 Reno 的手机很流畅，首先它不卡，然后打团的时候也不会掉帧，就是用起来很舒服。
确实感觉流畅性对于我们的操作才是最关键的一环，对吧？那同样的，那我有一个问题需要问到我们的因为选手，因为这一局其实差一点点。 让你们的队友 Emerok 是完成了1传3，那如果让你给 Emerok 今天的表现打个分的话，你会打多少分？
肯定打满分，好吧？
满分。
对，最后一场有点可惜，本来应该可以穿3的，只是有点着急了，不然的话很有机会，好吧？
So my second question for Yanwei is, if I have to let him give a grade for Emerok's performance today. Out of 10, how much will he give? So his answer will be like he will give 10 because that is really close because Emerok could take 2 of their opponents out of the stage. That's really great.
那接下来的话呢，当然也要问到我们今天的最大功臣 Emerok 选手了。其实今天是差一点点能够完成1穿3的，你是觉得自己是比较幸运的呢，还是有一点遗憾的呢？
Ela disse que hoje você só competidor vai ganhar todos. Assim, você acha que você solo ou muito deles não ganharam todos?
Hoje eu consegui uma performance boa, porque a gente estava treinando ali antes, então ficou um pouco mais tranquilo, eu estava bem confiante também, porque eu estava do lado aqui, esses 2 companheiros que jogam muito, então eu estava confiante para hoje, eu tinha certeza que a gente ia ganhar.
他说今天的表现他已经非常满意了，因为对方的选手也非常的优秀。
Emerok said he's really satisfied with his performance and also think their opponents are really strong.
好的，那也是再次感谢3位的分享，也是为我们带来了非常精彩的峡谷里的功夫。solo 擂台赛的环节呢，到这里也就全部结束了。马上将要继续的呢，就是我们英雄联盟手游艾欧尼亚杯佛山南海国际邀请赛决赛的第3局比赛。在此之前，我们稍事休息，马上回来。
Thank you, as you've brought us a really brilliant